Good evening, baseball fans. It is Sunday, March 31st. I'm going to go ahead and say that it is actually April 1st, though, because like April Fool's Day, right? Because who would have ever thought that the only undefeated teams in the league would be the Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Yankees. So happy April Fool's Day. We're in the upside down. That's what I'm going to go with. That's what I'm going to go with today. Anyhow, this is, before I get into this is, I'm Suzy. That is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball, Astros edition. And this is going to be a rated R podcast for all of the cuss words. And there will be many cuss words. So just get the earmuffs out for the little ones if they're around, or if you yourself are not comfortable with the 4-letter words, then you should probably skedaddle on out of here, because that's probably the last euphemism I'm going to use suitable for tiny ears for this episode. That's probably what's going to happen. So with that said, I don't know what level of sorrow I'm at right now. I'm at chocolate chip cookie level? Am I at Jack Daniel's down home punch level? Or am I at just fuck it all, we're just gonna take shots level? What level are you on, Tom?
Tom, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, has a little Maker's Mark cast strength in his glass, the Astros glass, and I'm okay. I am okay. I do not have the sky is falling. Shelby, you can't be unwell. It's 4 games. It is 4 games. We're going to talk about all of it, but I promise you, there are positives. There are things to take from this series, although shitty, because we've already given the warning. There are positives out there. This team is fine. We're just so used to spoiled rotten. We win all the things. Definitely fuck the Yankees, and we didn't get any of that. So that's why we are the way we are right now. Twitter is a mess. Everyone's in shambles right now because it's the Yankees, and it's okay. I understand. However, there are positives.
Okay, so Shelby Miller, welcome back, Shelby Miller. I'm so glad that you
back,
can join
Shelby
us.
Miller.
If you guys have been around for the original Bourbon and Baseball, Shelby was my original co-host. She got too busy for me, though, and so, we had to cut ties. I'm just kidding. We didn't have to cut ties, but she did have to leave the show, unfortunately, because, she got busy and whatnot. But welcome back, Shelby. Welcome back. We love having Shelby back. But you know what we don't fucking love? We don't love getting swept at home by the Yankees. But here's the thing, though. Like, did we, in the back of our heads, did we expect anything less, though? Because we're at home. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Like, I don't know who put the curse on Minute Maid, but someone's Mexican grandma needs to go and like do the things and put the Vicks on the
Bottom of the
places.
feet.
Bottom of the feet. Like, what's the bottom of the feet for Minute Maid Park? Is that the basement? Is that what is that? I don't know.
I think
Astro Worf Craig says that he had to drown his sorrows in peanut butter cheesecake. Okay,
I love the sound of that, Astro Worf.
I love peanut butter cheesecake.
Awesome.
That's
Anything
delicious.
cheesecake is top tier. But I mean, it's apparently everybody thought it was going to be okay because Minute Maid was packed. The crowds were great. Everybody was excited. Shiny new toys, Josh Hader, the whole 9. So, I mean, did I think they were going to sweep? No. Did I think they were going to sweep the Yankees? No. I know some people felt that way going in, and I was like,
Did I think that we could win a single game? Absolutely, people. Absolutely. Okay. Now let's do this. Okay, let's list the positives, because there are some positives from these 4 games. Okay, there are some positives. I know if you look at it in the broad sense, it's just shitty, but there are some positives, people. Okay, I need you to know that Christian Javier went 6 shutty. 6 shutty. Okay, 6 innings, people. No runs. 8 Ks, 6 Ks. I need to look up that line. This is the very professional podcast that you guys pay for that knows all of the stats for you. But
Look, you guys know
the
the stats. We're going to give them
some
to
of
you,
them
but
don't.
you know
Some of
them.
them don't.
What you need to know is the whole starting rotation shoved this weekend. Everybody pitched well. Even Framber, for as
All,
shaky as things
all
got.
of all of this all of the starting
Yes.
all of the starting rotation pitched lights out.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not lights out,
And that
not, but like they pitched very, very well. Okay,
was
the
the
questions that we
concern.
had, yeah,
The
yep,
concern going in was, oh man, we need another starter. The rotation, I don't know. Everybody felt like the bullpen was nails. We were good there. The lineup was going to be good, and the rotation was going to be you know, that's going to be the
okay.
bugaboo, and it wasn't.
It wasn't, no, because of course none of us expected our big guys to go 1 for 35 with runners in scoring position, and I'm only half kidding about that number. Okay, so Javi went 6 shutty, 4 hits, 1 walk, people, 1 walk and 6 Ks. All right, we're not going to talk about Fromber. Fromber like played with fire and it burned him. It did. It burned him. But the fact that they loaded the bases 3 different times and he got out of that with like a ground ball double play 2 of those times. Okay? But you play with fire, you're going to get fucking burned, people. Okay? I don't know if your mom told you that, but my mom certainly did. So, I'm here to tell y'all that, if you keep playing with fire, it's going to come back to haunt you. You can't walk 43 people. You can't do it. You
But
can't walk in runs.
In Fromber's defense, that was probably the worst umpire of the weekend, and the umpiring all weekend was ass. And that's not a 4-letter word, but that is an accurate description. It was bad
Absolutely.
on both sides, and they walked guys too. I feel like Fromber, for what he was asked to do, because I don't think he envisioned himself as the opening day starter going into the season. I think, that was kind of going to be reserved for JV, and it didn't happen. So we know how his emotions are, how his headspace is. I was more worried about Fromber because he was going to open in day for that reason than anything else. And while he did play with fire, the fact that he's getting ground ball double plays again, the fact that he's getting ground ball outs again, where last year that went away mysteriously,
Yep.
was like, hey, I'm okay. If Framber can get in and out of trouble with these ground ball outs, I'm okay. So I was not mad at Framber's start. I was more upset with the bullpen there because we'll get into it. But, all in all, every starter went out and did enough to win ball games.
Absolutely. Absolutely. CJ pitched a gem of a game, and then the bullpen shot itself. Hunter Brown, baby JV, went out and did masterfully and just now I don't look, did we sign Josh Hader? Absolutely. For as much shit as I like to talk about Dusty and the issues that Dusty had, the one thing that Dusty did was he did not burn his relievers when there was not a chance to win the game. And now maybe a spot is like, you know what? Do you see our lineup? Do you see the boys that we have hitting? Maybe he says, you know what? We're never out of a game. But like, why are we burning Hader and Presley? And like, was the thought that we had Brian Abreu coming back? Was that the thought on that second game? Like what's going on here?
Well, I gotta believe, and I don't know that he'll speak to it, but I gotta believe that Hader and Presley are gonna pitch innings regardless. Because when you look at the rest of that bullpen, they're more stacked on the rotation. So you're only gonna get Taylor Scott for an inning. Obviously, there's no one in Astros Twitter right now that wants Rafael Montero to come out, but he's gonna have to pitch. Parker Mashinsky, a lot of these guys got run. So he needed to use Hader for an inning. Presley's going to be leaned on more than he probably ever has because he's now sliding into a setup role where those guys pitch, whether it's, up 2 runs or up, down, whatever, they're going to get run more than the closer. So I think I don't mind that he used Hader the 2 times that he used him. I think you have to be willing to give your guys in the bottom of the ninth a chance to go win a ball game, especially when he hasn't won a ball game as a big league manager. So that's weighing on him too.
What are you talking about? Did you not think that we were gonna go 0-4 at the beginning of the season? Like, what? That's what I thought was gonna happen. Definitely, for sure. Like, that we were just gonna hand Joe Espada that makes me depressed. So we're not gonna start off with the cookies. We're gonna start off with the Jack Daniels down home punch people. So that's what we're doing now. For those people that are saying that Joe Espada needs to be fired, I need you to just shut the fuck up right now. Just stop it. Pump the fucking brakes and stop it. Okay? Just delete. You can those are the inside thoughts, okay? Those are inside thoughts. Those are not let's type those out on Twitter thoughts. Okay? Those are the ones that we keep inside our head. It's 4 games, people. It's 4 games. I realize that I'm drinking because it's 0-4 and we got swept at home by the Yankees, but it's mainly because it's the Yankees that like makes me so much more upset. Okay? If it was like I don't know, Diamondbacks or the Cubs or the Marlins or whatever, I don't think it would hurt my heart as much. But it's the fact that it's the Yankees and that no name Oswaldo Cabrera is the Yankee killer, not Juan. Well, no, Juan Soto is because it's just Juan
I was
Soto.
about to say Juan Soto did a lot of lifting.
Okay, like it's Juan Soto, and like I've disliked Juan Soto greatly since 2019 when I didn't know anybody from the Nationals. Okay, I did not know anybody else from the Nationals. I knew Juan Soto's name. I knew I didn't like his Soto shuffle back then. I still don't fucking like it now. Every time I see it, I want to punch things. I want to punch all the things. Okay, so Juan Soto, that's fine. I expected Juan Soto, but Oswaldo Cabrera, the Yankees didn't even trust Oswaldo Cabrera. They went and got John Birdie from the fucking Marlins because they didn't trust Oswaldo Cabrera. And then Oswaldo Cabrera said, "Excuse me, I'm here. Look what I can do," and proceeded to show everybody what he could do. Shelby says that she dreamt about them the last 2 nights. Little League errors. Oh my goodness.
It was a tough series. It was a tough series for sure. I do believe that Oswaldo Cabrera is kind of like their Dubon. So I'm not surprised that he did the things that he did. For me, I think that the series was just like so much. They caught every break, every little soft contact single, every broken bat. I mean, for Juan Soto, he did not have a ton of hard contact.
No.
I mean, Aaron Judge didn't do a whole lot of damage. It was just dink and dunk and dink, and they caught every break. And for me, that's why I'm not upset. This is a positive for me. I think if you told me that the Astros were going to just be bopping and lost, or they lost a game 11-8, then I'd be more concerned. The fact that all of these games were close and it was just these little bitty things that kept nicking them each time to give the Yankees one extra run here, one extra base there. They caught every break for 4 games, and it just happens sometimes. Normally it's the A's that it happens with us, and you're angry because it's the A's. This time it was the Yankees, and you're angry because it's the Yankees. I get it. But it's really hard to beat good teams. And as much as we like to bash the Yankees, there is enough talent on that team to be good. We just normally figure they're going to get in their own way. I mean, they caught all the breaks.
Side note, the Oakland Athletics have a better record than we do right now.
It's 4 games, Suzy. Stop.
Listen, I am just telling you what the record says. There's no inference there. I'm just, what the record says is that the Houston Astros are last in the AL West. So
I think they were last at some point last year too.
Do with that what you will. Were we? Somebody in the comments tell us.
The beginning of the season last year started horribly bad too, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, burn the whole stadium, sell the team, get rid of Click, get rid of everybody," and it was just like, calm down, and they still were one game from World Series.
Shelby says, at least we got the A's on attendance. That
Oof.
we do, ma'am.
That's a low blow, Shelby.
That we do.
They're
That we do.
trying out there.
That's that's not on the A's though.
No.
Not on the team. That's just yikes. Side note, the A's walked it off on a walk-off walk. Like, good for you, Oakland. Good for you. Good fucking job. There was, again, lots of good things to take away from the series. If any of you had Jake Myers hitting the first Astros home run, what are your lotto numbers? Can you give those to me as well? Because I would love that. If you
Suzy's center fielder, Jake Myers.
I love him so much. So much. Listen, if you go back and you listen to all of the things that I've said about Jake Myers, at no point in time have I said that Jake Myers is not a good player. He's a good player that I want on somebody else's team because I want my guy to be center fielder. I want Chas McCormick to be center fielder. Okay. And if you go back, you will listen to me say, if I can get Jake Myers from 2021, I'll be about it. I will be about it. That you see all those cards back there? Okay. There are rookie Jake Myers cards, autographed rookie Jake Myers cards back there because I loved him. I loved him when he came up. Absolutely adored that man.
He does kind of look like your typical, I adore this baseball player, easy on the eyes type guy.
It wasn't even like that. Don't put words into my mouth, sir.
I didn't say you said that. I said he did look like, to me, like one of those guys.
Does he look like Kevin Kiermaier? Absolutely not.
No one does. We're not going to get there.
There's a couple. Hello, Max Kepler. I mean, just all right. There's a couple. But what I'm saying is that, like, again, if we get 2021 Jake Myers back before the injury, love it. I would love it. And then I will maybe not happily turn over the crown to Jake Myers for center field, but it will be less of a blow. That's what she said. To my and again, I don't know why I love Chas McCormick the way that I do, but I will fight armies for Chas McCormick. Okay, like I am Chas McCormick's biggest fan. You will not find a bigger fan. Well, maybe the Chas Trump guys.
I was about to say his brother too, right? He
Chas Trump guys probably got me. Okay, I hand up. I do not go to the Astros games in a gator suit. That's maybe I could though. Maybe at some point you'll see me in a gator suit. I'm not, but I want my guy in center field. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So Jake Myers actually looked pretty good. His helmet stayed on. Also, big plus. John Singleton got a hit. Victor Caratini got a hit. And guess who was raking? Abso-fucking-lutely raking this series, guys. Not a big boy. Yainer Diaz. I love Yainer Diaz, guys. I love him. If you are not on the Yainer Diaz train, where are you? Why aren't you on it? You need to get on. Okay, just hop on. Enjoy the ride. That's what he said. Just do it, people. Just fucking do it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, you guys. I don't understand why you're not here yet. All right, I'm gonna look for Yainer Diaz's stats this weekend because they were absolutely incredible.
I want to say he was like 7 for 11 as a catcher, and like 7 for 14 overall, like something like that. Yainer Diaz, I think that was a concern for me going into. Was he going to have a sophomore slump? Was he going to be able to continue the great hitting that he was doing last season? And so far, 100%. For me, the biggest offensive takeaway this series was Jeremy Pena, positively. Jeremy Pena is a guy that nobody expects to hit the baseball. He's been very bad. And it's not because his statistically terrible, but you think as big as that man is, he should be a power hitter. We're spoiled by Carlos Correa. We expect our shortstop to have a certain level of drive-in guys. And he was 3 for 4 today, I believe. And looked really good behind the plate. What the little thing that he did to his swing apparently has him in a better position, and he's driving balls the other way. I think eventually when you see him turn on some things, he's going to hit balls out of the park. And if Jeremy Pena and the bottom of that lineup is going to be good, and by the bottom of the lineup, I mean Chas McCormick, Jake Myers, Yiner Diaz to an extent, I think he's going to move up a little bit. But right now, I think he's like 5 or 6. So 6, 7, 8, those guys, if they're going to be good for the table setters, I think the one thing that has me so even keeled is the boppers struggled. Bregman did all the things in spring training, was going to make all the money, absolutely disappeared this weekend.
Yup.
Tuck, he had a couple hits, but when there was opportunities to do things, not really. Jordan was an absolute non-factor.
Jordan got 3 balls. Didn't take the fucking bat off of his shoulder. Just stared at it. And in the article that Chandler Rome wrote in The Athletic, he literally said, I don't know why. I don't know why I couldn't swing. Sir, Jordan, I'm like, was that Clark? I think it was Clark Ferguson that was the reliever. So
Caleb Ferguson.
Caleb, thank you. What did I say?
Clark?
Oh, Clark Schmidt.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Okay. Caleb Ferguson, thank you. Is it that deceptive? Like, because there are some, whatever arm slot, release point, variables, whatever. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But apparently, big man couldn't do nothing with it. Not anything with it. So going back to Yiner Diaz, though, apparently Baseball Reference does not have today's game in there, but they do have the first 3 games, and in their first 3 games he has 4 hits in 10 at bats, 1 RBI, 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. The 2 walks is what I'm really encouraged by. Because last year he liked to swing, free swinger, right? He really didn't take his walks when he could, but he was taking those walks. His OBP 500, his slug 400, his OPS 900. This man, I say man child, has a 159 OPS plus. Maldi could never. I just needed to get that out there. Okay. I need to get that out there. Oh, Aaron's here. Aaron, I do. I love you. Aaron is our favorite Yankee fan. Aaron
did
says,
say
love
it.
you, Suzy, but I did warn you, don't let us win the Nestor start. Listen, I wasn't trying to, sir. We were our worst enemy on that start. Okay. We handed you 3 runs. We walked in 3 of your runs. Y'all didn't do shit. Okay. But you take Juan Soto and Oswaldo Cabrera out of your lineup. What you got? Although I think Anthony Volpe was pretty good for you too. If we didn't, hey, I didn't even read the second comment, Aaron. And look, see, we're in sync. If we didn't have Soto or Cabrera, we don't win the series, in my opinion. Absolutely. I think the stat was something dumb like 9 for 12 or something like that. If the Yankees don't re-sign Juan Soto at this point, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that will just be a colossal mistake on your point.
Their fans may burn Yankee Stadium down, because if this is a microcosm of what they're going to get throughout the year, and they don't back the Brinks truck up to Juan Soto's house and they allow him to go anywhere at all, I can't imagine how that goes. Can't imagine.
I mean, and here I was thinking that it was going to be Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge didn't do jack. And the fact that we literally threw to Juan Soto when we could have just walked him and thrown to Aaron Judge, who hasn't done anything. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Judge Soto who? Give me Soto Cabrera.
It's a good answer.
Aaron, I remember a certain fan base that wanted to just run Oswaldo Cabrera out of town. Like, wanted to get rid of both Cabrera and Peraza, and the fact that Peraza got hurt was like, cool. We don't have to worry about him on the IL now. Again, you guys got John Birdie. Like, you got John Birdie because you did not trust Oswaldo Cabrera. But you know what? Shout out to Boone that said, did you see what he's doing? Like, I can't bench him now. Because I know a certain manager that'd be like, what? No, absolutely not. That's my veteran. I got to play the veteran. So, shout out Boone. You did something. So let's go over our high points again. Okay. Starting rotation looks good. Looks good. Starting rotation. Even JP France looked good today. Okay. Big boppers. All of our production really came from the other guys. Yiner, Chaz, Jake.
Pena.
Yes. Stole some bags. Guys, we witnessed the Astros do a double steal. A double steal! I was so excited. So, high points. High points, okay? I'm drinking to those high points. Cheers to those high points. Cheers. Cheers to those high points. Now,
and Josh Hader's legit. I mean, if anybody was worried about Josh Hader, new team
on back-to-back days,
yeah, legit. Stuff
Padres
is nasty.
Fan, I'm very sorry that he didn't want to wear out his arm before he got paid. I understand that. I understand why you'd be mad, but you can't be mad now. Like, you can't be mad. The man wanted to get paid. I understand that. That coaster, I don't have the coaster. I need the coaster by Ram Shirts that says the bullpen makes me drink. We're going to have to bring that out again. And I may have to do the things with the Tito's vodka, because the bullpen that apparently has just steadily declined, because last year the bullpen made us kind of iffy depending on which of the guys came out. But like 80% of the time, you're all cool. No, we got this. We don't got it anymore. Taylor Scott and Parker Machinsky is all like, the fuck, guys, we're trying. And I understand. Seth Martinez is like, I did my do. Okay?
I'm doing my part.
Yeah. Not the bullpen, not the cool pen. They are the nerd herd at the moment. That comes from Shelby Miller. That comes from Shelby Miller. Aaron loves our bullpen. Of course you do, Aaron. Shut the fuck up, Aaron.
Hey, but that's another positive, right? That bullpen's not staying that way too. That's the other thing that I kind of like washed away from this. You're not going to see Taylor Scott, I don't think, for long periods of time. You're not going to see probably Parker Machinsky for long periods of time, because when JV comes back and when Urquidy comes back, somebody's got to come out of that rotation to go into the pen. And that's when those guys become Sugarland Space Cowboys, and then I'll drive 15 minutes to go see them because they're right down the street.
Okay, so when that happens, when Jose Urquidy comes back, who gets pushed to the bullpen? JP France?
My guess is Ronel Blanco first, and then maybe JP France.
Okay.
If
Then
he's
who from
pitching
the
like if he pitched like he pitched today, it might be Hunter Brown. Remember, Hunter only went 4 1/3, 4 2/3, something like that. So, I think it's what I'm here for, Shelby. It's what I'm here for. Glasses half full here with Tom all the time, literally.
Shelby says that she needed Tom's positivity. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. All right. We need some positivity in our lives sometimes, but then sometimes we just need to be unhinged, delulu motherfuckers, okay? Just balance.
Bourbon and
We
baseball brings. We bring balance.
okay? Sometimes I need to be the unhinged delulu person that doesn't know what the fuck losing Astros is about. Okay. And sometimes that hurts my feelings. Okay. The rational part of Susie understands that this is baseball. Baseball's long. Okay. There is whatever 162 minus 4 is because I don't do math. All right. Not that kind of Asian. Whatever that ends up being, 158. Okay.
Attaway.
There's 158 games left. All right. I get it. There's 158 games left. If we could play all 158 games on the road, that would be delightful. I would love that. Okay? Because I think they said what we won over 50% of those games on the road. Let's just do that. All right? These guys, they don't need a home base. None of that. We don't need any of that. All right. We just all of the games on the road. I have a call in to the Blue Jays to let them know that we're just going to go to Canada for this next series. I got put through the voicemail though, so I don't know if they got that message. We'll see though.
They were probably in transit. They were probably flying.
Probably. Aaron asks, don't you guys go to a 6-man rotation though? We may, Aaron. We may. Typically, we haven't. But we may just to make sure that all of the JV gets a little bit extra rest, that all the starters get a little bit extra rest. But if we go to a 6-man rotation, then it does cut down on our bullpen, and we need to
We've
make sure
seen
that,
how that looks.
need to make sure that our guys can go the length that they need to do. So, pluses and minuses there. And I'm going to just take this comment as positive and not as sarcastic at all. All right, that I got the math problem right. Okay, and yes, I am very proud of myself for doing that math. Thank you very much. In my head with no calculator and alcohol in my system. So cheers, motherfuckers. We're gonna drink for that.
I think if they do go to a 6-man rotation, I think they do they try to do the piggyback thing that they're doing in the minor leagues, where it's like somebody goes 5 and then somebody goes as far as they possibly can. So in that sense, you still have a starter getting starter work.
Yeah.
You would just have less bullpen arms like that. So instead of saying Ronel Blanco is in the bullpen, he's the 6th starter. And on that 6th day, maybe he comes out the 2nd time, something
Right.
like that.
Probably like JP France, Ronald Blanco kind of piggyback days, or Hunter Brown, JP France piggyback days, something like that. So, but yeah, Justin Verlander looks good through another bullpen session. Healing vibes, feels good. Greg Kessinger also feels great. There was the little hamstring issue there. So Jose Urquidy also starting to throw. So all good things. All good things. What is not a good thing, however, is our first baseman. Jose Abreu, I love you. You took up yoga in the off season. I love that for you. But the high velocity is not, we're not catching up to the high velocity. All right. Father Time is undefeated, as they like to say. And it's not looking great. It's not looking great. I need to know how many reps at first base has Joey Loperfido taken? And if it's more than one, can we just call him up?
I wanted him on the opening day roster, and everybody told me, hey, we can't mess with this clock. He's not going to get any run. He's going to sit. And then all he did in Sugarland was hit homer after homer after homer. And the guy is on fire. And I just don't know if personally I want to watch the John Singleton experiment any longer. If you have that kind of guy that can play first base, I'll deal with an error here or there to get that kind of bat in the lineup. And I know that's a lot of greed, right? Because we should have more than enough firepower in the lineup to be able to do all those things. But the dude was white hot in spring training. He's white hot through 3 games at Sugarland. And I'm ready for the Joey Loperfido experience.
So I shouldn't tell you and the listeners that Joey Loperfido leads all minor leaguers in home runs and RBIs.
I mean, you can, but I knew.
Right?
I knew.
Those who know, right? Listen, I understand that Joey Loperfido he hasn't played first base since single A, I want to say, which has been a while. He has taken reps there before. He is currently taking reps. He's practicing. I think the last couple of games he has played in Sugarland has been in center field. However, I wanted to maybe sign Brandon Belt to platoon Jose Abreu, because if I have to see John Singleton pinch hit for Jose Abreu as a left-handed hitter, I may throw things at my TV. I legitimately had to leave the room so that I could not break my TV. And I wanted to sign Brandon Belt. Like that experiment would work great, right? He is, I want to say, maybe like a year or two younger, had like a 132 OPS plus last season, left-handed bat, could come in and pinch hit, and no one would bat an eye, right? No one would bat an eye.
I agree. I think that would be a good move if Joey Loperfido is the future and they don't want to upset that. I understand the nostalgia. I understand the good feel-good story with John Singleton. I just don't know. I just don't know if it's going to work out the way people think it's going to work out. Abreu signed this year and next year. So at best, he's a platoon player. I think for John to get what he needs to check the boxes, I think he needs to be an everyday player. I don't think
Absolutely.
anybody wants him to be an everyday player. He got a knock today because he got 4 ABs. Is he the pinch hitter? I don't know. I know it's a cheap option, but
so is Joey Loperfido, people.
True.
Okay. Aaron says, well, I love you, Suzy. I just wanted to soak up the tears. 7-0 in last 7 games in Houston. Also have the tiebreaker now for the season. Thanks for that, Aaron. We love that.
Hey, I get it, Yankee fans. Take your victory lap. I know this is your World Series. I know this is what will power you through the first couple months. I just should caution you, like, the Astros had nothing from Jordan, very little from Bregman, very little from Tucker, and y'all won a bunch of run-one ball games. Congrats. Not taking anything away. The one game that they made 78 errors, it was 6 innings of no-hit baseball. Before that, everything else, a bounce this way, that way, the game flips the other way. So enjoy, how you feel and the sweep. Obviously, when we sweep a team, we're going to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But that could have went the other way. At least 3 of those games could have went the other way.
Well, in today's game, there was literally like no hard contact. It was legitimately all tiny little flares that were doing it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I would rather them hit 3-run bombs, like, as opposed to these freaking little ridiculous, not barely getting out of the infield hits that they were doing. And I'm all, again, I wanted to throw things, but I couldn't. So.
And for as bad as Jordan was, he hits one of those in the 9th inning, Oppo, that misses by 6 inches. that it seemed like every Yankee hit fell in that little spot, and he walks that game off. So I mean, again, we tip our cap, we keep it moving, but I'm not gonna sweat a 4-game series in March. Come to me in September and October, and then I'll be like,
That's cool. That's cool. I understand people. I understand that the sky is falling, that we need to sell the team. I get it. I understand. Okay. But we have been spoiled by how good our team has been over the last 6 years, 7 years. Obviously was not here for the ASTROS.
the Tombstone Chronicle article.
Yep. I wasn't around. Okay. Wasn't around. I didn't even like baseball. Didn't even like it. All right.
The disastros.
I'm mad at all of you that didn't warn me about this feel. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody warned me about this feeling of baseball. I, however, was like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Astros are losing. Cool. Love that. So then I had to go. I watched all of the other baseball. And then got my feelings hurt when the Athletics have a better record than we do. I got my feelings hurt, not gonna lie. Got my feelings hurt about that. And then like the Royals putting up 10 runs on the Twins. I shouldn't let that hurt my feelings, but it did. But that's okay. Because water will find its level. It's baseball. Whatever other cliche you want to throw in here, because like really and truly, it will all kind of level out. It will be okay. But sometimes I just need to be unhinged. Sometimes I need to yell.
And I can't stress this enough. Like, we got very little from some key contributors of this baseball team. And then when you talk about this bullpen, there wasn't a soul in Houston that was worried about the bullpen. It's like, let's do this. Presley,
I was a little
worried.
I was worried about the bridge to get to 789.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you didn't have to worry about that early. Like, I felt like that would be a late season problem. I didn't think that was going to be a problem when you start the first game of the season and you're up 4-0. You know what I mean? When CJ goes 6 strong, I didn't worry about 7, 8, 9 in that game.
Yeah,
you had all the bullets.
Yeah.
So I get it. I understand people want to be angry. See me at the All-Star break, and then I'll reevaluate where I'm at. Until then, nothing for me. The season doesn't even start until then, because that's when your GMs are going to go say, okay, I need this. And they're either going to go get you that, and then you go, okay, let's go to war, or they don't get you that, and then you stress, and then then it's a race to the finish line. But everything leading up to July is really, just kind of like, I want to set a good pace. I want all my guys to be healthy, and you don't want to be too far behind, which I don't think this division is going to run away from the Astros.
Well, we got, we got some ground to make up, people. I'm just kidding. I'm only half kidding about that. So the Blue Jays come in for 3 now. And the Blue Jays got a little fired up over the Rays series. They won 9-2 today. And they're getting some production out of people that you're like, oh, okay, perfect. We love that. Springer's hitting some Springer dingers. Vladdy hitting the ball well. Today, apparently, Bo Bichette couldn't start the game because he was having neck spasms. So that will be kind of something to look out for in our series, to see if he comes in, if he feels better. Justin Turner is contributing to the lineup. So Alejandro Kirk also contributing to the lineup. Like, good for you, Alejandro Kirk. Let's see if you can be, 2022 Alejandro Kirk. G Garcia says Astros need a real first baseman. Jose Abreu is taking too long to come around, and Singleton has no business on the Astros lineup. I
That's
don't
fair.
necessarily disagree with you.
That's fair.
I don't necessarily disagree. Again, like Tom said, we love the John Singleton story, love the nostalgia of it, but it's on this caliber of team, I just don't see that working. And Jose Abreu taking till like June to warm up. Like, we already got a slow starter. All right, insert Alex Bregman. We don't need another one. Don't need another one. All right. We could probably add Tucker to that mix as well. Like, we need someone hot from the get go. Can we? But
Can we
again,
find another Yiner? Can we trade for another Yiner Diaz?
Joey Loperfido is saying, "I'm right here, people." Apparently, Shea Wickham is hitting the cover off the
He hit a
ball as
slam,
well.
didn't he? Yeah.
I think he did today. So let's hope. Let's hope that we see them sooner rather than later. Again, I'm not wishing ill on anybody. I don't want anyone to lose their job, unfortunately, but moves do need to be made.
Yeah, but in the same vein, Aaron Judge is hitting 130 or 080 something right now, and that's a $500 million man. So the fact that they won, they're not talking about Aaron Judge not doing anything for this entire series. I think winning cures a lot of those ails. Obviously, if Abreu was doing his thing, maybe they win a couple more games.
Do you want to know Jordan Alvarez's OPS plus right now?
It's probably Maldonado-esque.
It's not even Maldonado-esque. It's so low. It is so low. And this is
And
in
that
3 games.
and that's not going to
This is
continue.
in 3 games, 12 at bats. He has 1 run, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. His batting average is 167.
Well, that's
His
worse today.
OBP,
Yeah, it's worse now. He didn't do anything today.
mhm. His OBP is a 286, a 167 slug, and his OPS plus is a 32.
So if you wanted to, and no one does, if you wanted to, you could hang this whole series on Jordan Alvarez and Alex Bregman, and they'll catch no shade because rightfully so. But for those guys to do literally very little, you're not supposed to win those games.
Yeah. G Garcia, I would love it if Pete Alonso
Hello,
he
so Blanco.
just insert Pete Alonso into this lineup. That would be amazing. That's not going to happen. That is a pipe dream.
It's a very expensive guy.
That is a very expensive guy. Again, like, if we're doing this John Singleton experiment, like, let's do the Joey Loperfido experiment. It's going to cost you the same. Okay. You got a little bit more versatility. You got a little bit more player versatility in there. Okay.
He checks so many boxes, and I understand. It's a young player that you can build your future on, and you don't want to like mortgage that because eventually you'd have to pay him, right? But at the same time, you have this team that clearly could use the help and is still good enough to go deep into a playoff run, if not win the whole thing. I understand prospects, but a lot of people will tell you parades over prospects and just roll with it and figure out the next Joey Loperfido, as opposed to keeping him in Sugarland and not playing him with this ball club.
Are we jumping to conclusions in 4 games and Jose Abreu?
Of course. I mean,
So
of course,
how
because
much
at the last 2 months of the season, he was arguably one of the better hitters on the team.
how much run are we giving Jose Abreu before we start seriously like I understand that we're talking about Joey Lopez right now. Part of me is saying like we still need to give Jose Abreu some time. But legitimately, when there's high velocity, like high heat, it was not a good look for Jose Abreu. Like it did not look comfortable. He did not look comfortable. It did not look good. And I understand that the number on the back of the baseball card, but the number on the back of the baseball card was for a younger Jose Abreu.
Yeah, but the
So
argument that I'm going to make is the same argument that I make for Rafael Montero that no one wants to hear. And it's that Jose Abreu is making $19 million a year for this year and next year. So they're not going to sit a $19 million player when that's what you're paying him to do. In the same vein that they're not just going to hand Rafael Montero a bus ticket and say, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck up out of here. They're not going to do that. They're going to hand him the baseball. So Abreu's going to start. So Montero's going to be out of the pen. And you hope that those guys get it right. I mean, I've yet to see the Jose Abreu at any point in an Astro uniform that was the White Sox Jose Abreu. I'm just hoping that we do before his time is up.
well, let's hope that time comes before All-Star break. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Because didn't he have like the second highest third highest RBI total last season?
Yeah.
Let's check this out.
Yeah. And that was the thing that was so funny because like at the end of the year, while his numbers were down, they weren't horrible. It was just not $19 million good. And I think that's a legitimate argument that people can make and go, hey, we're paying premium money to this guy. We need premium, results.
Jose Abreu has a negative 47 OPS plus.
It's bad.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. It's so good. Let's see. So last season he had 90 RBIs. 90 RBIs. An 87 OPS plus last year.
League average is 100.
Season before that was 134, people. 134.
And the people that want to argue that this is the decline that they should have saw and he was on the stroll down, that's fair. I mean, but we're here now. We're committed to it. So we can't go back and unsign him. So
G Garcia says he looked old. His swing is starting to look like it's going to come with an AARP card. G Garcia, I again don't necessarily disagree with you. So listen, it is Jose Abreu this season will be the Martin Maldonado of last season. That is what.
Whoa.
That's
God,
what
I
this
hope
is
not.
gonna be.
Don't say that, Suzy, please. That's horrible. Like
I don't think he's going to be the black hole that Martin Maldonado was last season. But he'll be like a gray hole. How's that? That doesn't sound any worse. Or any better. But he's going to be that hole in the lineup that you're just like, oh my gosh, okay, like what the fuck?
I know a lot of fans when I did the PSF app the other night were absolutely calling for him to be pushed down in the lineup. I can get with that. I can subscribe to that. I think this is going to test Joe Espada's, managerial chops to try to identify, hey, I need to move guys up. I need to move guys down. He went right away and moved Jiner up into Abreu's spot, which I thought was really good. We'll just see like how much he leans into the John Singleton thing. I know Abreu got hit with a baseball, and that's kind of what made the start happen for Singleton. He got a knock, so we'll see. But I mean, then he pitch hit for him later in the game. So I don't
Well,
know.
we shall see. We shall see. So, with that mention of the PSF app, your girl's back. Tom is back. We will be live in color, in person, live on the PSF app. Is really what I mean, not like at the game, but we will be on the PSF app tomorrow. We have the game, and it will be the first game of the season, and hopefully,
Susie's
we can
calling the
celebrate a
first
win.
win, calling it right here, right now, playing drinking games, getting a dub. Mañana.
I don't know how much drinking we will do because it is a school night,
I
but
imagine if they're winning, we might be drinking. If they're losing, we might be drinking. So you tell me.
probs, probs, probs. Tom does
I'm
speak
not
the
going to
truth.
bake a bunch of cookies, so I will definitely pour one, as you can see over that shoulder.
But listen, I still have cookies from the last time that I made cookies, which was like a couple of days ago.
2 losses
Uh
ago.
2 losses ago. Yeah. So tomorrow's start, we will see Ronel Blanco. If he looks like anything like his last start against Sugarland, which he struck out
Electric.
10, it will be must see TV. He's got that big DE. He's got that big dad energy. Okay? I think he had a baby girl. I think he and his wife had a baby girl. So congrats to Ronel Blanco. Shelby says, if you ain't drinking, you ain't thinking. Shelby, will you join us on the PSF app? That would be delightful.
Come through, Shelby. Come through.
That, I mean, so that game starts at 7:10 tomorrow, and we will face, I don't even know who the fuck this is. Francis for the Blue Jays?
Love that.
But I say we love that, but we tend to not do great against pitchers that we've never seen before.
I'm excited for tomorrow, man. I saw a team after that game today that was very angry leaving the dugout, like going into the locker. I think tomorrow could be a big number.
Let's
I
hope,
really do.
man.
I
Let's hope.
really do.
Oh, you know who this is? This is Bowden Francis. Bowden Francis? Bowden Francis? Let me see if this is the guy that I'm thinking of. I'm almost positive this is him. And if this is him, we may be in for a start. I think
This guy's got like a
he
5 ERA or something like that.
let's see. He made his MLB debut in 2022. That's professional career for the Brewers.
This is probably bad
Toronto Blue
because if
Jays.
Susie finds that he has this great ERA, she's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna shove. And if Susie finds that he has this horrible ERA and they don't tee off on him, then she's gonna like be very upset.
He began the 2023 season with AAA Buffalo, making 4 starts and recording a 3.45 ERA with 23 strikeouts and 15 and 2/3 innings pitched. On June 6, 2023, Francis had his contract selected to the Major League. In 20 relief outings for Toronto, he recorded a 1.73 ERA with 35 strikeouts across 36 and 1/3 innings pitched. Entering the 2024 season, the Blue Jays announced that Francis would be part of their season opening rotation.
So is he stretched out?
I don't know. I
Like
will
this
do
is
some
his
more
first
research.
start? Oh boy.
It looks like it, maybe. Let's
So I
see.
imagine the first time through the rotation or through the lineup, I'm sorry, he might fare well. The second time is when they tee off.
G. Garcia says, only if Jeff Luhnow was still with the Astros, he would have found some way to finesse the Mets and get Pete Alonso, move Abreu over to New York. Jeff was the man.
He's doing great things for
That's
Cancun FC.
That's so funny. Well, and not gonna lie, the fact that James Click worked freaking Yainer Diaz and Phil Maton in a trade for Miles Straw, who the Guardians, after signing a contract with him for like $19 million. They just DFA'd, and now Miles Straw is in AAA. I mean, raise a glass to James Click, because that's the fact that like you just heard me talk about Yainer Diaz and his 159 OPS plus, people,
And he
for
was
Miles Straw.
throwing.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Maton was the headliner.
Yep.
Yainer was the player to be named later type guy. So, I mean, expert job. Obviously, we've been so blessed with GMs to be able to go find guys that people just gave up on, Yordan Alvarez, and turn them in, or not turn them in, like allowed them to be studs.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think, but the Guardians have like a thing about guys who hit the ball hard and trading them away, because they don't. I don't know, too much power or something. They're not a fan. Cheers to Click on that move. Yes, G Garcia. Cheers to Click on that move. So guys, join us on the PSF app tomorrow, and you can see either the meltdown and or victory laps that we will be doing live and in person. Tomorrow I will possibly be pacing and or working the putty to work off all of my nervous energy. If I can't pace, we shall see. We shall see. We'll see what Bowden. I think it's Bowden. I think it's Bowden. Bowden Francis. We shall see what he does against our Ronel Blanco, and hopefully, we can make things happen. Fingers crossed.
I'm confident. I'm waiting for the Jordan to show up. I'm waiting for the Bregs to show up, and I feel like that will solve a lot of things. Because there was tons of people on the base pass this week. That was the one thing. Runners in scoring position, tons of them. Suzy letting the whole world know on Twitter, our favorite pastime of leaving runners on base. Yeah.
It's so good. Mid-season form, people. Mid-season form.
I realize that not all of them score. Suzy expects them all to score, though.
Listen, when the bases are full and we have no outs or one out, yes, I expect at least one run to score, but it doesn't happen. Very rarely does it happen when the Astros do something like that. It is at some point in time, if I don't get squirreled and like distracted, I will figure this out, because it seems like there is a higher, not probability, what is the word I'm looking for? A higher outcome that when our bases are juiced, that nothing actually happens there, versus like other teams when their bases are loaded.
Guaranteed tomorrow, if we have bases loaded and nobody out and no one scores, we will be drinking. We'll probably do shots.
And I'm going to just be here to say, I fucking told you so.
And angry, woo.
Oh, so God. I haven't gotten the practice dummy guy to beat up on. I need to go get the practice dummy to beat up on. That needs to be a thing. All right. So, people, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Apparently there's 49 of you. I don't know how many of you here are here from YouTube or how many of you are watching on Twitter. Apparently on Twitter, I think most of these numbers come from Twitter, because there's a whole different number on YouTube when like it shows me on YouTube, which is like a much lower number. And that hurts my feelings too. I'm all, can't you just like add those together, YouTube? Jeez. Anyways, but we appreciate all of you hanging out with us, talking shit. Aaron, that's for you. Again, fingers crossed that our boys show up tomorrow, that the bats get hot, that we figure it out, that the bullpen doesn't shat itself. Okay.
Taylor Scott looked good today. He looked awful the first 2 days. Looked absolutely good today. Struck out like the first 3 guys he faced. So I understand why the Astros had so much faith in him. I just feel for him because he was put in an impossible situation, being the first guy out of the pen and then giving up a run.
Yeah. So, again, go find us on the PSF app find us on the socials. If you don't know about the PSF app, there will be links we will put out there tomorrow on the socials, on Twitter and on Instagram. Facebook, if you're really old, I will try and remember to update that to give you the links to the PSF app. If you are on Android, last season there were issues with Android that we said, hey, did those get fixed? And they told us it got fixed and it didn't get fixed. Apparently, they are fixed. Like for reals got fixed because apparently in football season, it worked for Android people. So if
It
you are
did.
on Android, come join us. Okay. That is not an excuse any longer. You can join us if you are Android. We will again put the link to the PSF app room on the socials for all of you guys to come and join. We will probably start that like 6:45, 7 o'clock. We shall see, depending on. Again, I think I said the game starts at 7:10, so we'll probably be in there like 6:45, 7. Just keep an eye on the socials. We shall see when we will be in there. Grab you a drink. Enjoy. If you're not going to the game, come talk shit with us in the PSF app room. Lots of fun. Tom, tell the people where they can find you on socials.
At Third Coast Tom on Twitter, not X because I don't believe in that shit. On Instagram, I'm now making my Instagram more available at TC Tom1. Um, I post a lot of that here. Yes, Garcia, 100%. I did the Texans all season long. We had Android guys coming in. It was fantastic. Please come hang out with us. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good time. The PSF app, if you're not at the game, I'm telling you, and you want to watch the game and you want to talk the trash, you want to live it moment to moment with people. A lot of people do it on Twitter, and I get it. You know, you have all the followers there. We're really trying to bring a lot of PSF because if you feel like you want to get on the camera or just voice chat, you have that now where you're not going to
Yep.
go start a space on Twitter or anything like that with Suzy, with myself, or if you're not an Astro fan, there's another room for you. I've been very vocal that you don't have to be just a Houston sports person to enjoy PSF, and I think it's the future. So definitely come check us out there. I'll definitely post whatever Suzy posts because I'm really good about retweeting Suzy's work. She's phenomenal. When we get ready to go live on the PSF app tomorrow.
There will also be, if you I am only a baseball girly, okay? I know lots of you watch other sports. I don't understand how you get so invested into other sports because there is no way, no how that I could be traumatized like that by other sports. That's fine. But if you want to watch college basketball, football, regular basketball, they have all the rooms. They have all the rooms for all of the teams that you could possibly imagine. So all the shit that you guys like to talk with us, you guys can go talk that shit with all of the other people about all of the other teams, okay? I have found Diamondbacks people. I have found if you want to go talk shit in Yankees rooms, in Cardinals rooms, you guys can go do that. I probably don't recommend that, like we want to be nice, all right? We want to be kind people, all right? However, you can go do that. But they have media casters for literally all of the teams now. We have media casters for all of the teams, all of the sports. Go find you some. I know Twitter has gotten, I know for me at least, I only use Twitter to talk about sports. That's the only thing I want to talk about. If you talk about other things on Twitter, like politics, I will mute your ass. I don't want to know about your political views. I don't give a fuck about your political views. No one is going to change my mind about my political views. I am not going to change anybody else's mind on political views, okay? I don't want to see it, all right? The PSF app is legitimately all sports all the time. So for that in and of itself, like you want to talk about sports and that's all you want to talk about, head on over. It's great. So with that, I'm going to close the show. Again, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, listening to us, giving us 5-star reviews, giving us all of the ratings, all of the reviews. We love that. We are still trending on like Spain's Apple podcast charts. I don't know where you came from, Spain people. I love you though. Japan, Korea, we fell off. That makes me sad. That's on me though. That's on me because I have not talked about my Asian brethren that much. I get it. I understand. I will be better. I promise. There's lots of talk about Ha-Sung Kim coming when we do the All the Balls edition. All right? Just you wait. Just you wait. So, again, if you have not subscribed to the YouTubes, why the fuck not? There's a red button. It is free. It is legitimately free, people. Okay? You don't even have to give me money to enjoy my hilarity. All right? That's just, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, with that, we are going to sign off. Don't forget to download the PSF app, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. Yay, baseball!